That's right. Yeah, just all over the goddamn camera.
Hi guys and welcome to Married with Clix. This is our AvX month 3 recap of how we did at our venue that we go to. So going into month 3 of AvX, I was feeling a little, let's say, jaded about how I'd been doing in the tournament so far. I was having problems with combating the different Avengers teams that I kept going up against, and just becoming disappointed in my team builds. So I decided to go outside of the box and just kind of build whatever I felt like building. So my team this time around was, for my AvX starter piece, was Emma Frost at 100 points. On top of that, I put in Winter Soldier from the Captain America, I think it's number 5, at 100 points with his sniper nest, which is just gross. John Constantine for 59 points to shut down any Scarlet Witch that I came up against. And just to fill in a little bit of extra points was a Superman action figure. And I pulled, for my remaining points, I ended up pulling from a Superman and Legion of Superheroes booster. I got lucky and got the super rare Superboy. So he instantly, when I didn't even look at, I honestly couldn't tell you what was in the rest of my pack. He instantly went on my team at 100 points. Round 1, I went up against one of our good friends, Aiden, who has been doing really well with this tournament so far as I can tell. I don't know, I haven't, every time I go up against him, he beats me, basically. So we both got our teams on board, and he had Phoenix 5, Cyclops, Emma Frost, and Jean Grey. And I feel like there was something else and I can't remember what it was. What else did Aiden have on his team?
Phoenix, Cyclops, White Queen, and Stargirl.
Stargirl. That's what he had pulled, because that was the first thing to die. That's what I don't remember. Yeah, so he also had the Stargirl from the Superman and Legion of Superheroes booster. So we both put our teams on the board. I ended up rolling for the map choice, and one of the sides is Limbo, and it's almost all at Elevated, but there's these little like tunnels that go throughout the pieces of Elevated, which I was really hoping to get map choice to stay on that map, because that worked really well for me for all these perches for Winter Soldier's sniper nest. So first round, give Winter Soldier a power action, set up his sniper nest. With his sniper nest ability, you're once per game allowed to give him a power action, and he sets up 3 sniper nest tokens. They can be placed anywhere on the board. And then you put him inside one of these. While he's inside it, lines of fire can't be drawn to him, regardless. And he can only be given power actions to do ranged combat expert. Or make a ranged combat attack using ranged combat expert. If someone becomes adjacent to one of his sniper nests, you roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, he swaps to one of the other nests. On a 4, 5, 6, that nest is destroyed and he moves to another nest. So I had Superboy kind of go out with running shot and take a big chunk out of Stargirl, and Winter Soldier in his sniper nest took another big chunk out of Stargirl, and then it's Aiden's turn. He kind of repositioned, and I ended up, I think by like turn 3 or 4, Stargirl was dead. And then my next biggest target was, of course, the Phoenix 5 Cyclops. Now, there's a big piece of elevated in the middle where my Emma Frost ended up, and she was able to do some funky outwittings, even though like Emma Frost the other Emma Frost couldn't be outwitted, and Phoenix 5, would you stop it? Phoenix 5 Cyclops couldn't be outwitted. But you get the point. Anyways, Emma was in a good spot. So Winter Soldier, I had the nests were on both sides of the map and one in the middle. So he's swapping around, and he's sniping, and basically just driving Aiden completely crazy. And at one point, he tried to get rid of one of the nests, and I think it just didn't work for him, and I ended up getting his Cyclops down. So he was down to Jean Grey and Emma Frost. And by then, Superboy had been taken out, and so I had my own Emma Frost, John Constantine, and Winter Soldier, and my action figure had been taken out. So we were basically chasing around his Emma Frost because I wanted to keep getting more points off of his team. And he was TKing Emma Frost back to Jean Grey, and then using, after clearing whatever, anyways, using Jean Grey to X-Men Emma Frost up. So it came down to a big cat fight between my Emma Frost and his Emma Frost. And he was starting to strategically place himself so that my Winter Soldier in his sniper nest couldn't actually see what was going on. So he was just kind of left out of the game. So we were rolling off to either we would get our shape change or we would miss the attack. On the rare occasion that we actually made the attack, we weren't doing enough damage to knock either one of us significantly down, because I'd like knock him down by 3, but then he was X-Menning back up. So at one point I got John Constantine back around, and he took him out with Jean Grey with the psychic blasting and Emma Frost. So the match finally came down to I started to actually run away. I don't like doing it, but I couldn't afford losing any more points, because at that point we had like 10 minutes left, or not even like 5 minutes left, and I was winning by like 150 points or something, and I just didn't want to get a greater disparity there. So I ended up calling final action, and I won just on the points. So I had taken out most of his team because Jean Grey finally died. And so all he had left was Emma. So I had taken most of his team. I got an even 300, and he had taken 182 off of me. My second round was up against one of our regulars, Jamie, who I have been slaughtering every time I go up against him. So I think he's starting to be a little more cautious about playing me. And he run map choice, but managed to actually keep it on the limbo map, which I was happy for. Same thing, set up my Cypher nest, which were just blew his mind when he finally read that power, and he was just like, oh my god, what do I do with this? So he was starting to be very scared of my Winter Soldier. I had brought Superboy out, and he was playing Magneto at full 200, a Dark Phoenix, and he had pulled Snowbird from Invincible Iron Man, who is actually a really nice sealed piece. So anyways, I had my Winter Soldier set up. Same thing, 2 sniper nests on the sides, 1 in the middle, so I saw a huge chunk of the map, because Winter Soldier has 8 range. My big problem was that when I was moving everybody out, I had Winter Soldier in his nest, I had Superboy up to running shot, his Phoenix getting good shots in, and I had moved Emma forward, but I should have put her up on elevated, because that way she could have used her outwit. And I stuck her down, and she got trapped in a corner. So he came out with his Magneto, and basically the only thing that gets around this Winter Soldier, because Lines of Fire can't be drawn to him, is Pulse Wave, which Magneto has in abundance. So I was a little nervous about that. Like, what I should have done is had Emma higher up on elevation and just kept outwitting his Pulse Wave. So Emma got trapped in a corner. Snowbird came in and just... I could not roll my Impervious. I could not roll my Shape Change. I just kept getting into a bad spot. And Emma died really quickly. Superboy managed to do a lot of damage on the Phoenix, and Winter Soldier did a lot of damage on the Phoenix. I was having a hard time tracking Magneto because he was staying away from my line of sight from the Winter Soldier, and he found out that how nasty Winter Soldier can be because he was doing a running shot to Pulse Wave and came adjacent to the sniper nest, which causes instantly as soon as you become adjacent to the sniper nest, he rolls for it. And regardless of whether the sniper nest breaks or not, he moves. So he had come in for a running shot to Pulse Wave, and suddenly his target's not there anymore. Which means that Superman got a shot in the face, but it saved Winter Soldier. So I had managed to knock the Phoenix all the way down to her last click. I had gotten some really good shots in on Snowbird, and I just could not hit that 20 to 21 on the Magneto. And I had lost my outwit with Emma Frost. So next to die was John Constantine. After that, my Superman got taken out. Then Superboy managed to live a little bit longer on his final click, but eventually he got taken out, and I was left with just Winter Soldier. And he had Phoenix on her last click, and with her being on her last click, he purposely put her in a spot that I couldn't see with Winter Soldier. The only problem about him being permanently up on the top elevation was that I had no way of seeing down through the tunnels. And then I managed to bring Snowbird down to his last click, and he was figuring that the only way to track me down to really do anything to me was, instead of pulse waving me, he started popping out my sniper nest to the point where I no longer had anywhere to run. He had gotten one good pulse wave in, and now I didn't have much left, so he was tracking me down. I broke away, tried to run. All I wanted to do was get towards the Phoenix that was on the other side of the board and kill her to get those 100 points off of her. But I had come to a point where I was trapped between Snowbird and Magneto. If I had rolled, I could either roll to break away, or I could attack Snowbird. Now, I know Snowbird was on her last click, so I had a chance of either breaking away or him getting his shape change, because my attack was still high enough and her defense was low enough that it was a pretty good chance that I would actually make the roll to hit her. But he managed to get his shape change, and Magneto finished it off. So, unfortunately, I lost that game with absolutely no points, which was unfortunate because I had been doing really well. Final round, I was up against one of our youngest players, a young lady named Marissa. Now, she's actually the daughter of one of our regulars. She doesn't come out all that often, but sometimes she comes in with her dad and she'll play a game. So she was playing. The funny thing about this is all 3 rounds I was up against X-Men, and I'm X-Men. So I didn't face a single Avengers this time. So my whole wanting to turn off other people's prob wasn't really anything I had to worry about. Except with Marissa's team. She had full points of Magneto. She had the 50-point Scarlet Witch from, I think it was 50 points. She had Scarlet Witch from the Chaos Wars. And she used her Hope Summers participation prize, because we were allowed to, if we wanted to use our participation prizes as part of our build instead of taking stuff out of our booster, or whatever combination that we wanted. So once again, ended up on the Limbo map and got my Winter Soldier nest set up. Played a little better with getting Emma up on the elevation so that I could outwit and she had her Hope and her Scarlet Witch kind of hiding, with Magneto protecting them, and I put Superboy out there with the Superman action figure, almost to bait him. I had done it for a running shot and missed on Magneto. So he was just sitting there, and I left him there for him to get attacked, so Magneto had come after him. But didn't manage, and put himself in the middle, elevated, which I was then able to have Emma Frost charge him and attack him. And I had also used, she had brought Scarlet Witch up on elevated to see for the prob, and I had Winter Soldier Sniper with range combat expert. I had put my damage up to a 4, and I managed to roll doubles, which knocked her off the elevator that she was on. So she did the 4, put her on her last click, so I think she was actually the full pointed Scarlet Witch. Put her on her last click, but then knocking her off the building did the final damage to kill her in one shot. And then I had Superboy running shotting Magneto. I had Winter Soldier shooting at Magneto, and I had Emma Frost smacking Magneto. And it was funny because I was doing it just around his invincible, doing 1 damage. They were all doing 3 damage, other than Winter Soldier. They're all doing a little bit, so just pecking 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Which I was like, I'm fine with that. I'll just sit here and peck at your Magneto until he gets wiped down. And that's when, like, after I had done him 4 damage through the invincible, which is like 3 separate attacks from my main hitters, I remembered that I actually had Outwit on Emma Frost. So the whole time I could have been outwitting his invincible and killing him a lot quicker. But the funny thing about that, of having not done that, was that I hit him with Winter Soldier again, which rolled doubles again and knocked him off the building again. But with Magneto being a flyer, he doesn't take any damage, so he dropped. And he just happened to drop right next to my Superboy and my Superman action figure. So for my final little huzzah on the head was that I had my Superman action figure charge him and attack him and kill him. So that was actually the highlight. You should have heard me scream. I just like yelled. I was so happy. Everybody,
the tournament stopped for 3 seconds.
The entire tournament stopped because they're just like, what the just happened? And I was like, I killed Magneto with a Superman action figure.
Everybody rejoiced.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then with Magneto gone, it was just a matter of Hope. And Hope is it's not the best version of Hope. The Wolverine and the X-Men Hope is better, and the White Phoenix Hope is better. But what this one does is that anyone within 4 squares of her, doesn't matter if they're friendly or opposing or line of sight, anyone within 4 squares, she can copy a standard power. So she kept copying, she kept copying Superboy's, his invulnerable, and that particular power it can't be countered. So I wasn't able to outwit that, but I was outwitting her combat reflexes, so I was bringing her defense down. And hitting her with Emma Frost, shooting her with Winter Soldier, and she had managed to hit Superboy onto his hypersonic, so then I was hypersonicking in and out with Superboy, and just pecking her 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, until finally she was just... she had just done. And so that was a almost complete wipe. She did manage to kill John Constantine on that. So by the end of the tournament, I had actually gone 2-1 with 2 really good wins. So out of, I believe there was about 12 to 14 people, I had placed 4th. So really happy about building out of the box for myself, going slightly out of my comfort zone, and getting really good results for it. That was my
I got the bye first round. I hate the bye. The bye is worthless. It's because you don't get a second roll for fellowship on the first round bye. for the end of the tournament, the bye really hurts because, well, I mean, with or without, the bye hurts. Because I am pretty much out of the running for first place as well, because a bye at our venue, I don't know if it's all venues, is a loss with 0 points.
It's a win with 0 points.
It's a win with 0 points. My bad. A loss with 0 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win with 0 points. Which meant, with the way the tournament turned out, even if I had won my first game, I would be 2-1 with the lowest possible points, which would place me against the highest of the losers. And even if I had won that game, the highest of the winners were both playing against each other. Whoever would have won on that would have won big time, and even the one who would have lost that game would have had more points than me. Subsequently, I judged. Instead of making somebody else suffer through the pain of having the bye, because nobody likes the bye, you sit around for 50 minutes, I decided I'd judge, give our judge the day off, he only insisted on recording points. Cool. So it's a good practice for a tournament, a big tournament that I'm upcoming judging later on, which we will be talking about once we get knowledge of it and where it's going to be and what we're going to be giving away prize-wise. What I did get to do is I got to see all the teams. So I saw, of course, Amber play against her 3 opponents. I also got a chance to see some other teams that were really interesting. The one that won, it was very meta. His sealed pack didn't matter. He could have pulled garbage because he would have still done very well with it.
How did he pull Tellus?
He didn't pull Tellus.
Oh.
He brought Tellus, Scarlet Witch. Oh no, maybe he did pull Tellus. He would have had to pull Tellus.
Tellus is Superman, a Legion of Superheroes, so he could have brought it from home. But I think he pulled it.
No, but he pulled the Chase Orion.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so he brought Tellus. And then he was given Professor X, and he used the Scarlet Witch, Tellus, Professor X. Right, because Professor X was given him. Okay, anyway, his team consisted of the Scarlet Witch from the starter, Tellus, Professor X, which was given away, of course, this week, and
I know there was a monkey.
The cymbal banging monkey.
I think there was someone else, but
doesn't matter. Basically, the thing that made this team amazing, and we had to research it a little bit after because nobody questioned it, and I had some questions about it, but subsequently. The thing about this team is that Tellus, because you can count squares from him, makes Professor X's reach impossibly long with his power. And that is the power that makes every power action that an opposing character within 8 squares of him has to take a double power action to take a power action. Count that from Tellus, or characters that are 4 squares from Tellus, you pretty much got the board covered. So, yeah, that's the team that won. There was another team that I thought was going to go to the finals, and that was Absorbing Man, the Ellie from Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man, played with an Emerald Empress and something very minimal from the starter, the Scarlet Witch. I want to see the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, I thought that was going to make it. I'm not going to lie. Because Scarlet Witch and Absorbing Man. Ultimately, that team made it to the second round with a win on the first round, and in the second round, he got caught in the guy that played in the finals against the winner in a little kill box that involved the Magneto, the 50-point Enchantress, the 50-point Scarlet Witch, and Therok. 2 TKers able to move the Absorbing Man around and out of base contact with anybody, while using Magneto, who was on his outwit click at the time, to outwit his charge. So he would move in, he'd get moved later on outside of base contact, get his charge outwit, then he'd have to be moved again, so now he's pushed. So now the TK is pushing this guy, throwing this guy all over the place, and the guy was able to just take shot after shot after shot after shot after shot after shot to finally, eventually take the Auxiliary Man down. It was a clever strategy, and it was pretty much the only. It was when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good way of doing it. So offensive TK for the win. Especially when Magneto can do it as a free action when he's pushed. What other good teams did I get to witness? The rest of them were pretty much bring the starter figures, build with my team, and go. So the really interesting ones, of course, made it to the top. In the final round, of course, because the team with the TKs and the Magneto, etc., was pretty much made of power actions. Professor X forced the issue on that team, and there was like next to nothing he could do in regards to that. He did his best. Everybody did their best against that team, but it caught everybody off guard. And yeah, so ultimately that was my thoughts on things. It was fun to judge. Get a chance to talk to all the players, judge on the rules, because apparently I know them fairly well. I do mediate a lot of the rulings in the store already because our judge is a very busy man in the store for some reason. Don't ask me why. So, yeah, we had a fair share of fun at the Comic Warehouse down at 20 Strathern Avenue, one of our great sponsors and great supporters of our show. Next month is the big point, 500 points. Get to bring 400 points. You know what? I should talk about the team I did bring to play. Why not? Being on Avengers side, my team was Black Panther, Wolverine from the starter. So there's, and I brought Lake Hung. Now, everything on my team, because I didn't care about the White Phoenix Hope, I got the figure that I wanted. I had to purchase it outside of regular means to get it. I got Lake Hung. So I played Lake Hung. And the only way this team would have done well is by pulling a Cosmic Boy. The pairings went up, I got the buy, and I had actually pulled the Cosmic Boy in my sealed, and my face went. So my team could have done well, because Cosmic Boy's double telekinesis, but can't win them all. So, all in all, I had my fair share of fun. We got a chance to try out the new rules. I've got a tournament this week where I'm not using the new rules, so I've got to kind of forget them all. And, yeah, we'll... that was my AvX in a nutshell. Judging's fun, though.